Welcome back to Nikki's Scrapbooking Adventures. Today is challenge number 2 for the Counterfeit Kit challenge blog and the Facebook group. You can enter the challenge at any time on that Facebook group. I'll definitely link that below, in addition to the blog and any details about the designers and those kinds of things. This month is a little special because you can enter your kit for a prize from a cherry on top, getting the November or December cherry box, which is such a great deal. They have some amazing products in there. And this month we actually based our kit off of a cherry box. So I took the kit in a vintage way. As you can see, I've got bookshelves here. And today we are going to be talking about how I was writing my son's Caring Bridge post. Now, the challenge is to use a large embellishment on your page. This was actually really hard for me to decide because the examples that were given were like big bows and those kinds of things. And I was thinking, okay, maybe I can do a Mickey head, but I don't really want to use this paper pack for Mickey head. So I really had to dig deep and figure out what I wanted to do. Well, I just happened to have this 3D pop-up vintage typewriter die set from Spellbinders. It's the die of the month in April 2020. I picked it up at probably one of their warehouse sales that they do have quite often, and it is a ginormous typewriter, like 3 inches wide at least, maybe 4. So, took some maneuvering, and I got that whole thing put together, which is fantastic. So there is my typewriter. I think it looks freaking awesome. This is actually black metallic from one of those 6x6 paper pads. I think that looks great. And then I've got some not really super shiny silver on there. And this is actually white, and I just embossed it and then cut it. And you can do that with your die. So you can emboss them if you have the embossing plate and rubber mat. You just tape it and run that through your die cutting machine, and then you run it through twice as if you're going to cut it. So the embossed image on this is freaking awesome. I did the same thing with this so you could really see the detail on that little piece of metal. I wish I had done it on the background here so you could see this a little bit better, but that's okay. You understand that this is a typewriter. So this is my big embellishment for challenge number 2 and the requirement that was. And my story this time around is about how I was complimented by a professional writer for the writing that I did in this. Now, I'm a math major. And you know what killed my writing? My passion for writing? Any passion I had at all? School. School killed my passion because I had somebody actually grading my work and telling me that I was no good. English was the one subject that I thought I wanted to do when I grew up. Well, along with all the other things. You know, kids go through a whole bunch of different dreams. And one of the dreams I had was actually to be a writer. So to get a compliment from somebody who was a professional writer, that was pretty cool. So that's why I picked this background, because, you know, one of my dreams was to be a writer, and I got to do this. Now, I'm going to go ahead and use this fabric strip. I'm really excited to try this out. I'm also participating in a challenge on another Facebook group for Bash Your Scrapbook Stash. And right now, we are required to use stamping, sequins, textures, stickers, and fill-a-shape to get... Fill-a-shape gets you 7 points. Each of these only gets you 1. So I'm only going to go ahead and try to get 4 things. So I need to get stamping, sequins, textiles, and stickers on this. So my textile is going to be this fabric tape. Right now I'm just measuring how wide I need it to be. It looks like it needs to be 2 inches wide. I'm going to go ahead and cut it. Let's see. This needs to go to 12. I'm going to go ahead and just cut the whole thing to 12 because I know if I'm going to use this on a scrapbook page, it's got to be 12 inches. So it doesn't really matter to me. Okay. So 2 inches here. Now, I've never used this fabric tape before, these fabric strips, but it's kind of cool because this whole deal has the texture and then the sticky on it. So these leftovers, I'll just put them aside. My plan for this layout is to make this look like a bookshelf. So I'm going to cover the last bit here, so that looks like the end of the bookshelf. I'm going to stack my typewriter on it here. And then I've got this really cool big piece of ephemera from 49 in Market. Talks about vegetables, flower seeds, blah, blah, blah. But what I'm really interested in is articles. That's going to tuck underneath there. And then I've got this really cool sequins ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm going to go ahead and use that. Now, I can do this way or this way. And I actually like the rope side better. So I'm going to wrap this around just for something a little different. And I'm going to try to get it to go through this hole. Now, do I think this is actually going to work? Probably not. Nope. I think what I'm going to do to make this work is cut a slit. Boom. That way I can just slip it on. Boom. Like that. And you can't even tell. See how that is going to wrap around. And voila! Then my journaling can go right up there. Now stamping. Stamping, stamping, stamping. I think I had originally planned to use this die set by Hero Arts and to make a little notebook piece. I did not like it. Just didn't like it. It wasn't big enough. It looked weird because it was just straight white. I just, nope. So I'm thinking what I can do just to add a little bit of flavor to this ephemera piece, so that it has little boxes. Okay, when you want your die or your stamps to be straight, just kind of plop them down on a surface that's not glass, and then you can line it up with their lines. I'm going to take my archival black ink, and I'm just going to add the little squares. I don't know, make it look like a checklist. Now, these aren't going to be lined up perfectly, and that's okay. And coming off the page here, I need a little bit of a buffer. Boom. See? All done. So I just added a little bit of something something there to help it go. I'm going to add this on here. I'm just going to use some double-sided adhesive. And I think I'm going to, where do I want it? Here. Or I want it here. I want it there. Okay. I'm going to varnish this, which means just press it down even harder, just to make sure it sticks. Just going to use my nail. Not a big deal. And then I'm going to add this rope side up. I don't know when I'll ever use this again, but I do want to save it if I can. especially because this challenge is several days. Like, I think it's still Tuesday, and I'm filming on a Saturday. Oh shoot, I need to put this on there. Well, I know at least it'll stick really well. Jeez. Okay, that can go right there. So there is my cool braided rope. And then I'm going to add a little tape. Whenever I'm adding things like ribbon or twine to my pages, I go ahead and just tape it off with normal transparent tape. As long as it's not on the back of your photo, I don't think the acid-free portion really matters. And in this case, it's not going on the back of my photo, it's going on the back of this card. So, yay! Got my sequence requirement, got my stamping requirement. I'm gonna add my fabric requirement right now. The longest part of this, wow, that's really cool. That isn't a lot sticky. Okay. To be fair, this is super old. So I'm gonna help it out. By adding some double stick tape. Now this tape is from Dollar Tree, and I think it works just as well as the other kind of tape that you can get. So there's that. Just gonna add it all. Okay. I don't know where my bone folder is, otherwise I'd be using that right now to varnish this. But you see how that's just kind of like pushes that out a smidge. Okay. A hot frickin' mess. I'm also doing the load challenge. In fact, I was a guest designer for the load challenge, so you can definitely go check that video out. It was on October 15th. Dang it. So I will link that at the end of the video. Okay, one downside of this is that it's not like normal. Can you hear that though? Isn't that cool? Okay. I'm not going to worry about the overhang here and the not overhang here. What I'm going to do is I will just trim the edges when I'm done, because that is like a sliver. Super small sliver. So I'm not going to worry about if it's not 12 by 12 exactly. Gonna add some glue just to make sure that stays. I'm going to glue this down. Just like that. Perfect. Then I'm going to glue this down. And there goes my ATG. I don't want to bother with that. Just going to glue this down. And that's it. So when it's in my page, it will kind of lift here, but then I won't have to add any more dimension to this than I actually need to, because I really don't want to. Because this is already dimension, and I needed to make it that way to make it look super cool. Okay, and there we go. Boom. So it will be a little bit funky Not a big deal. That's glued down. That's done. And that is my page. Super simple, but it is going to be journal heavy. I will talk about how I met the person, what they said to me, what a great compliment it was, maybe talk about how high school just ruined writing for me because they added rules to something that I wanted to be fluid. So that, my friends, is how I used a massive embellishment on my page for challenge number 2 with the Counterfeit Kit Club. I will, again, link everybody down below that is playing along with the design team this month. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I am trying to get to 750 subscribers by the end of the year. I am so close. I think like 200 subscribers away. Every click counts. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.